Okay, people, today we're talking food and mood journals. I know that something that I've always impressed upon people is to understand how much they're actually eating and why they might be eating it. But that doesn't always mean that you're going to sit back and give yourself the time that you need to learn this about your own body and mind. And so I have a lot of stuff to go through. So I'm going to try to do it very quickly because in this day and age, attention spans are horrible now and people don't really care to listen to help themselves. So I hope I can do this quickly enough to get this information to you. And please do listen, it's important. So whether you want to lose weight, whether you want to improve your diet, whether you want to improve your mood, or just try to keep a healthy lifestyle as a permanent fixture, it's not easy. It's not easy because we have a bunch of excuses or real things, that are stopping us from doing that. Family obligations, work obligations, stress, mental health issues maybe, pets, travel, every excuse we can find. So between those jam-packed schedules or a long list of responsibilities, and then bad habits that are difficult to break, you probably established a very long time ago all of this stuff. And so making any kind of lifestyle change is going to be difficult and a long process that's full of a lot of obstacles that you're going to have to overcome to reach your ultimate goal. And so when you give yourself the right tools and resources to be able to conquer these things, help yourself or utilize the help of other people, it makes it a lot easier. And so one of the best things to do if you really want to get to the root of why you haven't been able to successfully incorporate a healthy lifestyle is a food and mood journal. And so the journal is pretty much what you think it would be. It's a tool for tracking what you eat and how you feel when you eat. That basically allows you to see goals. So much like I'm looking at right now, one of our crew, we did a fit test yesterday, and I've written down for her how many sets, how many reps, what the exercise is, and then also her measurements and her weight. And so she can go back in later at home, because I made it a pretty simple fit test, to check and see what her sets and reps would be in order to set goals for herself. And so in order for us to measure progress, we have to be consistent, and we actually have to be diligent in recording what we're doing. And so keeping track of what we eat and how we feel is what we need to be doing to start out. And there's a lot of studies that say people who keep food journals lose twice as much weight as people who don't. And so you can do it old-fashioned, paper style, which I do give to some of my clients on intakes, for them to just start to be really cognizant of what they're doing. Or like today, I'm going to go through some online stuff, which some of you already use, but some of you may not. So let's go through that. Mood journals are used, on the other hand, not just the food portion, but mood journals are often used when you're trying to treat things like clinical depression or just some emotional issues you might be having. So those are kind of two separate things. So when you pair them together, it's just really insightful on maybe getting to the root of an emotional attachment to food or the eating process. And so you can opt to do this all electronically, write it down on your PC or laptop or whatever, or you can keep a food journal electronically with an app or something, and then a mood journal in like a diary at the beginning or the end of every day. So some of the good points I just want to go through with you. They help you identify negative habits and break cycles. You can also identify food intolerances. Those might give you headaches, might make you feel lethargic, might give you indigestion. There's a bunch of different things that food allergies can manifest as, and so you can help yourself to pinpoint negative symptoms just by writing stuff down. So gas and bloating, things that might not make you feel so attractive. So remember that there's a goal, there's a point, there's a method to the madness. Tracking your mood can help you reflect on certain events that trigger you, change your emotions, and then maybe have you sitting at a table, eating a bowl of ice cream. You're really going to be able to isolate and reflect on what your triggers are. Food journals hold you accountable. And so regardless of what your nutritional goals are, you're there every day documenting what you're putting into your body. You're much less likely to veer off course if you're looking at what you're writing down. And some people want to fib, hey, that's cool, but in life I like to give 100%. You're also making sure that you're getting your nutrition in, proper nutrition in, that you have a balanced diet, and that you're not suffering from any nutritional deficiencies, which can create body and mind problems. Okay, these detailed logs help you to make sure that you're getting all of that. And then again, you can identify potential triggers within the body that might be stopping you from losing weight and making changes and reaching your goals. So the bottom line is that keeping a food and mood journal is a super awesome tool to keep you accountable and also isolate any things that are going on with your body or your mind that might be, a roadblock for your goals. So finding the right journal is going to be a different journey for everybody. A lot of people are just running around with their smartphones these days. And so keeping a handwritten food or mood journal might be difficult if you're not a person running around, with a notebook or something like that. But in this day and age, also carrying a pen and paper for, depending on your age, you might not want to do. So a lot of people have success even at the gym still, for instance, recording their workouts with pen and paper. I'm totally notes on my phone or an app. So that decision is going to be up to you, but the apps do have advantages because there's certain macronutrient, micronutrient, nutritional measurements and trackers that can give you insights that you might not obviously be able to have if you're just writing things down on paper. So some of the ones that you could go about using are MyFitnessPal first. I use MyFitnessPal not all the time, but especially during contest time or if I really have a goal that I need to meet and be realistic and put my nose to the grindstone. It's a free app. You can pay for an upgrade. I have done the upgrade. I think when you're just starting out, it doesn't really matter. I would say just get the free app and start recording stuff. It has a barcode scanner. You can enter your own recipes in it. There's also an online community, so a lot of my clients are friends with me on the app, and when we're being active in certain undertakings during the year, we communicate through MyFitnessPal as well. So the free version doesn't have the micronutrients, but if you're not really, at the level of taking into consideration vitamin and mineral contents, then it's not a big deal. So that's a free one that I think is really intuitive and easy to use. Fooducate is another one, Fooducate, Food Educate, married. It's a bit different from other trackers because it's centered around educating more than just recording data. And so it's a newer food journal app, and it has a mood tracker built right in. So that's super cool because not a lot of them do. There's daily tips, there's a newsletter, and articles on a bunch of different nutrition topics, so you don't always have to just come to me or rely on fake news. All of the foods in the database for that one are assigned a grade with an explanation as to why they might be a bad choice or a good choice for you to eat. And then it offers alternative foods that you might not have thought about, which is really cool because then you don't have to do the thinking. It's a lot different. It doesn't allow you to track macros or macronutrients, and it doesn't have the same wide range of foods as MyFitnessPal, but feel free to check it out. I like that it incorporates both, and if you're not on a macro plan, you're just sort of starting to get to know the healthy lifestyle and incorporating that regularly, this one's good because it takes care of your body and your mind and gives you some ideas of alternatives. Another one is called My Symptoms Food and Symptom Tracker. It's a really comprehensive app, and it tracks your intake, records any symptoms associated with the food. It tracks time so you can pinpoint what you're eating and any reactions that you have, and kind of narrow down what your problems might be nutritionally or with allergic reactions or whatever. in addition to tracking your food intake, it has the option to record your energy levels, your sleep quality, and even your bathroom business. So, and then a section where you can write down your mood as well. It's a thorough app, and it's like $3. So if you have the $3 to spare, totally, check this one out as well. The downside is the nutrient database isn't as complete as with other applications, and so recording your nutrition intake might be a little bit of a pain in the ass at the beginning. So try the free ones first, I would say. And so those are my 3 sort of suggestions to you. I know a couple of other people in the family use Chronometer, and I've looked at that. That one's super comprehensive. Vitamins and minerals are in there. It's got tons and tons of data. If anybody wants to comment below on what their thoughts are with Chronometer, please do. I found it a bit overwhelming. It has a desktop version and then the app on your phone. I just like stuff to be pretty simple for me. My life is busy, and so I'm not like a techie that's into reading all of that data, nor do I have the time. I have enough of an education in it to know generally what I'm consuming. So Chronometer is another one. So just some tips to leave you with on this whole thing, and the keys to keeping a good journal. So there's so much more to consider to your diet than the calories that you're taking, and to take advantage of the benefits of keeping a food journal, you have to sort of ask yourself the right questions so you can get the full picture of your diet and your mood. Okay, so you shouldn't just be recording what you're eating along this process, but taking note of how you feel physically and mentally. I feel physically exhausted, mentally, anxious or unhinged or restless. It can help pinpoint not just what you're eating, but why you're eating it and how certain foods make you feel, because we're not all inherently aware of the little intricacies that occur in our bodies once we've ingested something. Even, for instance, I had a client that said, the other day, finally when she was journaling, I felt my tongue felt itchy after breakfast. Tongue felt itchy after breakfast. That's really weird. And I was like, wait, show me your journal. And she had eaten granola and bananas or something. And bananas can be allergic for people and do create that itchiness inside your mouth. So right then and there, it's like, you might be allergic to bananas, or the same sort of symptoms come along with a lot of mucus and a bit of itching with pea protein allergies. So it's really important that you start to get to know how foods act inside of your body. So here's a list of questions you should take into consideration for your main food journal undertaking. And you can either jot these down or watch the video again if you need to. I would suggest that you just jot them down. So what did you eat? Portion sizes and any relevant nutritional information. What time did you eat? How did you feel while you were eating? Were you hungry? Were you bored? Were you sad, mad? How did you feel while you're eating? Were there any particular events that led up to that? Did you have something, emotionally traumatic happen at work, and you stormed out and went through the drive-thru and got a hamburger or something? Who were you with while you were eating? Were you with anyone? Were you alone? What were you doing while you're eating? Were you watching TV? Were you talking? Were you working? Were you distracted in some way? That's very important because then we can isolate mindless eating. How did you feel 1 or 2 hours after you ate? What did you drink throughout the day? So whether that's pop or soda or water, tea, coffee, what were you drinking throughout the day? And then what kind of physical activity did you participate in? I know we just did a video on why it's important incorporating it. So what did you do with your body in a positive way that day? So it seems like, you know, all those things, that's it. But it seems like that's a lot of information, but it really can be recorded quickly and easily, especially with utilizing some of those apps, or if you just get really good at filling out forms or journals. So if you keep these detailed notes, you're going to be able to reach your goals more easily. I'm going to put up a free template for you guys. You can print it out like a week or two at a time and use that. So if you need to, you know, text yourself reminders throughout the day, or set an alarm, or whatever you need to do. But I would suggest keeping track throughout the day of food and mood in general, and then at the end of the day, as part of your nightly ritual of winding down, fill out like a fully comprehensive mood journal. It's cathartic, it gets it done, you get all your feelings out on paper. So in wrapping up, after you've completed the first week of food journaling, so it'd be great if you could start this as soon as possible, as soon as we kick off the challenge, this is when the fun starts. You've done all the hard work, you've compiled all the data, and now we're gonna sit back and analyze it. And so we can look at that entire week and consider, how did the food make you feel? Are you overeating in certain social situations? Or are you eating when you're actually hungry? Or are you eating out of boredom, for instance? You can use all that information that you've collected to look at what moods have you craving certain foods. If there's specific times during the day as well that you're more prone to snacking or something like that. So using your findings, you're going to be able to set up healthy choices for yourself and know and be empowered by the information, the data you've collected on your own self. And then in keeping this entire journal, you'll know that you have everything that you need to reach your goals. So this is a getting to know yourself exercise. We're going to establish a week, and then we're going to keep going. And you can feel free to incorporate this into the entire 30-day challenge and beyond. And so discussions around what you've noticed in your journal, we can have in group, or in your Sunday check-ins, we can talk about it privately. But anyways, I hope you get some benefit out of this. Don't forget to, I'm going to post in the group the daily food journal template. If you need to use that. Otherwise, check out one of the apps and let's get some feedback on what you think about them. Food and Mood Journal, 4 weeks.